Days after the killing of Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar, the IDF has released a video which claims to show Sinwar's bunker, which he occupied during the first half of the ongoing Gaza conflict. Now let's take a look at what is in this video. It shows a well-equipped bunker complete with modern showers, several bathrooms, a fully functional kitchen stocked with rations which are labeled with the logo of the United Nations Palestinian Refugee Agency. Just take a look at what you see here. This is a bunker of a man that triggered a war that has led to untold suffering on both sides, especially his own, because this is the Hamas chief, the one that was assassinated by Israel just a short while back. For a year since starting the war in October last year, he hid away in this bunker. This bunker was nothing less than a luxury suite from what we are given to understand. It was packed with all kinds of luxury items, things that would help him survive, and not just survive and remain and stay and hide, but flourish and have a great time. Look, there is a bathroom. Looking at it, you cannot tell that it is in some kind of bunker. It's not a hole in the ground. It's got plush fittings. It is uber luxury. There again, this is the IDF person who is taking us through this premise. There you see, these are foreign brands, I can tell. They are available for his consumption. This is a fully stocked and equipped kitchen. So really you have a situation where Yahya Sinwar, after starting this war, you'd expect him, and you know, thinking back to the days of the post 9/11, Osama bin Laden was said to be hiding in the caves of Afghanistan. Those were catacombs, those were real caves. This is not a cave of any sort. This is claimed to be a bunker, but what it is a luxury suite. Now, the IDF says that Sinwar was prepared to ride out the war with a big stash of cash, with cologne and his personal effects in place. This video and the bunker shows the contrasting reality of Gaza. On one hand, where thousands of Palestinians are suffering due to shortage of food and water and medicines, but the Hamas terrorists continue to bask and live the kingly life. They bask with their riches in their luxury tunnels, and that is what has come to light. So here you can see, viewers, just take a look at these stunning visuals before us. These are some things that we're going to talk about. This is the wife of Yahya Sinwar as well. What you see in her hand, which we had circled, is a luxury bag, and we'll come to that also. But it just tells you that the terrorists and their families, they seem to not be affected by the war at all. They are not paying a personal cost, whereas all of the women and the children and the civilians who live in the Gaza Strip, they have come under relentless pressure, both internally from the terrorists and then Israel, because Israel has essentially laid siege for over a year. There, once again, is the wife of Yahya Sinwar with her luxury bag. Now, viewers, Pradeep Datta is joining us. And Pradeep, you've been reporting from Israel. Now, ever since the war began, whenever Israel strikes Gaza, we always hear that a hospital has been hit, a school has been hit. But isn't it true that the terrorists seem to use these civilian buildings and civilian installations as a sort of shield for themselves, isn't it?
Yes, you're absolutely right, because the idea was behind using the civilians as human shield was basically in case any of them gets hit or get killed, they can easily say that, see how Israel is acting like an oppressor and how they're violating human rights. And that is exactly how they used to spin narrative whenever any hospital was targeted. They used to put blame on Israel. And unfortunately, many people in the Western countries also used to echo a similar kind of a sentiment, not realizing that these were basically using human beings as shield, and they were using this human installation as their hideouts also. But what is more important is the kind of a video that you were showing. This is the video of October 7, the day when the most barbaric and the brutal attack was carried out. And Yahya Sinwar knew that Israel is going to retaliate and react. See, while people of Israel were like a sitting duck for those carpet bombs being dropped by those Israeli aircrafts, this man was hiding inside a tunnel. This was a kind of a suite where he was along with his wife and family members, the son. So he was really concerned about his family members, not concerned about the people putting up in Gaza. And second thing is, look at the bag she's carrying. This bag costs about $32,000. The same Yahya Sinwar who had often been critical about the Western countries, but the Western countries made bag is being used by his wife, and $32,000. And when he also died, he was carrying with him 40,000 shekels. That clearly indicates on one hand where the people of Israel, of Gaza, they're suffering from one bottle of water. They were looking for that one bottle of water. They were just suffering because of that. And on the other hand, this man was leading a luxurious lifestyle. Almost the story remains similar, whether it's Kashmir, whether it's Gaza. Everywhere you'll find a similar kind of a story. Here also we found that the separatists and the terror-related elements, they used to lead luxurious lifestyle. Their sons and daughters used to study outside, while as common Kashmiri was used as a stone pelter. The same thing is happening in the Gaza also. They were preaching, indoctrinating young minds, making them to join the jihad against Israelis. But see, the kind of a luxurious lifestyle this man had been leading. He wanted to save himself and his family from the bombs being dropped by the Israeli aircraft. But he never ever thought about the people putting up in Gaza region, what will be their plight, and often used those people as human shield because he wanted to save himself. I think this video is enough an indicator for those who really feel that this man is a martyr and he was really a well-wisher of the Gaza. He was not a well-wisher of Gaza. Basically, he was totally against the humanity and his job was only to terrorize people. And that's one of the reasons that he masterminded October 7 attack, one of the most barbaric and brutal one, in which 1,600 Israelis were killed. When hundreds of
that's absolutely spot on. That is, in fact, what you've been reporting this entire time. And we are also joined by a guest, Colonel Dr. Rafael George Buknik Chen, I hope I've got that right, senior researcher at the Begin Sadat Institute for Strategic Studies. Now, Colonel, what do you make of these videos that have surfaced that really show the kind of luxury that the Hamas leader, the terrorist leader and his family was enjoying, while the residents of Gaza live a pitiful existence? What do you make of this?
What we have seen shows the gap between the luxury life of the leader and the poverty of the population. This is something which is really striking because Sinwar used to have a very, very luxurious life. And as we have seen, his family was really enjoying some kind of good life and even more than that. This is really something which is a kind of well-known situation in which there is a real discrimination of the population. However, the leadership is living in such a very high standard life. And I think the population is not aware of that. And the fact Israel is showing that is very meaningful and may have a psychological effect and a moral effect on the population.
Well, but do you think this is something that the people of Gaza don't already know? Because, whenever we hear about negotiations, whether they are brokered by Qatar or anyone else, the discussions and the deliberations are always happening somewhere outside, which has indicated for some time, Colonel, that the Hamas leadership is sitting in comfy countries, in plush areas. They are not in the Gaza Strip necessarily. Yahya Sinwar, an exception, but he himself is living a luxury life. What does it mean to the people of Gaza? Would this come as a revelation to them, or is this something they just simply cannot do anything about, even if they know about it?
Well, I believe that most of the population is not aware of this tremendous gap in the living standards. However, now that it was exposed in such a way, I believe it will have an effect. And not only related to Sinwar himself, because while Sinwar was in the tunnels, he still kept a high standard life. This is really something which is, I would say, something a little bit surprising. But in fact, the political leadership of Hamas, who is basically located in Qatar and in Turkey and so on, are known as using high-class hotels and enjoying a good life, while I would say having a lot of money which belongs to the Palestinian people. And this is very, very important element to have some effect on the population, I would say, approach towards the leadership.
Absolutely.
And I
Now,
believe
Colonel, while you speak, we are showing our viewers the wife of Yahya Sinwar in a tunnel where she's carrying a bag that is extraordinarily expensive. It is a high luxury item. It's the kind of thing you are more likely to see on the streets of Milan and Paris, perhaps not in war-torn Gaza. But where do you see now this conflict going? Because we've seen how Israel and the outfits that are alleged to be sponsored by Iran, proxies of Iran, they're trying to target each other's leaders. We've seen with Nasrallah, we've seen with Yahya Sinwar. Now there are assassination attempts on Benjamin Netanyahu as well. What do you see happening? Which way is this conflict going?
Well, first of all, the killing of Yahya Sinwar is not only a symbolic achievement, but it is a very substantial achievement because I believe it can reflect to a turning point in the conflict in Gaza. Actually, the remaining terrorists of Hamas within Gaza Strip are acting as a guerrilla-style activity without any directives from commanders. And this is a kind of chaotic situation. Therefore, for Israel, it's a great advantage since the main target actually is to take advantage of what happened and to try to advance the release of the hostages who are dispersed between several fractions of the Palestinian organizations. And therefore, Israel is now trying to deliver or to send some temptations, offers to the Palestinians to give some information or even to release hostages who are being undertaken by local families or even local criminal fractions acting in Gaza. And this is very, very important and crucial time.
Absolutely. Well, Colonel, I'm afraid that's all the time we have, but thank you for illuminating this discussion with your views and assessment. Viewers, we have been tracking the war in Gaza very, very closely, viewers. We have been bringing you reports from on the ground and also now this very revealing inside look at the fabulous lives of Hamas terrorists. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.